If you like to dig through the ancient past and uncover forgotten secrets, viewers, then you are probably far better off going to archaeology school, because that process is far more interesting in real life than it is in Let's Play Axiom Verge. But today I have come up to the mountain area of Kur here again, because you will recall there was a entrance at the top here that we couldn't get through previously, but now we can. And that is how we actually progress with the plot. First, however, I will be filling in these bits of the map that I haven't gotten yet, using the drone teleport and some jumpy tricks. There is a little ledge up there at the top left of that area, but there's nothing up there. Is that this whole room done? Good. Moving on now. That is a lot faster to do now that we have the drone teleport. How about this area? Do we need to do mapping in here? We do over there on the side. That's fine. One day I'll remember how to get through this area. Okay, here's the pop ledge. Got it. And let's save over here so I don't have to do that again. Alright, now we have this area in here to map as well. And this column, we actually find a note here. That is a Sudran note. We're going to be finding a lot of those in this session, so I'm just going to keep my Reveal Sudran code turned on. You can just trust that everything I'm finding is written in the Sudran language. Okay, so this note is written by the High Priestess to someone. I believe we can reasonably conclude this is a response to the earlier request sent by one of the Rusalki to the Sudran government to get access to the machines, including the rebirth chambers. This is where that request is approved, because the Sudrans are all dying and there's really nothing else they can do about it. Whatever. Get the whole map? Good. So, this is the part we couldn't get through before, because we couldn't teleport through here. Now we can. I hope you like this music, if you can call it that, viewers, because we are now in E-Kur-Mah. I believe in actual Earth history that was the name used by the Sumerians for an extremely holy temple or something. It means something to the effect of mountain, home, temple, holy, whatever. I don't know. And that thing up there is an ancient Sentry. They are one of the few enemies in the game that you need to hack with the address bomb. I think all that does is make them retreat instead of chasing you, which is mildly useful, I guess. In here, you can go through the top there as a bit of a shortcut. There is an item over here on the side that we want to get, so I will not take advantage of that right now. Let's see, where is it? Right here. It's another Sudran note. And these are actually records of basically ancient Sudra being stored in what is probably the seat of the Sudran religion. So we hear that there was horrible war between terrible things way back in the past of Sudra. That's fine. A bunch of poetically described bad things happened, which doesn't tell us a whole lot. Most importantly, we find here that, as I think has been alluded to in the past, the Sudrans sealed away most of their technology, seeing it as responsible for a lot of destruction, and developed a bunch of traditions where they venerate technology but try really hard to avoid using it. Okay. That's the kind of spiritual background behind that practice. As with many enemies, the best way of dealing with the ancient sentries is basically to try to get them hung up on obstacles. Because otherwise they will just chase you around and do a lot of damage to you. That is where you would come out from that shortcut. And this is a barrier we can't get through, for some reason. So, fair enough. About that whole killing us thing, by the way. Thanks. Let's go find that key. So, let me get this straight. Trace is a pattern mind with the power to rewrite reality and walk through barriers, but he still needs to go find a key to open a door. Alright, fair enough. Fortunately, there are plenty of obstacles in here to get the sentries hung up on. Neglected to mention it, by the way, but that last note used the phrase Masters of Patterns, which probably has similar meaning to the term pattern mind that the Rusalki use, implying that sometime in the ancient days of Sudra, there were a lot more pattern minds than just a Thetos running around. This is not great for my health. I think I have anything else I need to find before the key, right? Right. Just that thing. Trying to keep an eye out for secret world entrances, but I don't think there are any in this area. I should, however, be keeping an eye on my health, because that's rather more important right now. in here? No. Not that it matters, because there's a save point right here. You're gonna get hung up there? I don't want to go out there. Let's see. Another charge? Excellent. Get you down here? Or should I just tether charge you again? When things like the sentries get hung up in the right place, the tethered charge definitely helps with them some. Let's see. Can I lightning gun you from there? Barely? Yes. Okay. There's an item buried in some of these things. I believe there's one over here. We've got a lot of rubble to drill through here, because that is how archaeology works. And another note written in Sudran concerning something called the Land of Civilized Kings. We have someone here who basically seems to be disagreeing with the Sudran doctrine that ancient Sudra, with its high technology, was a terrible time to be avoided, arguing to the contrary that Sudra should return to using those types of technologies, basically. And that's an interesting one to me, because I don't know of any particular reason for that to be in there other than flavor. Taken at face value, all that really tells us is that Sudran culture was not quite so monolithic as one might expect. There was some dissent around the question of technology. Maybe? No. Nova. There we go. Taking a little while. Saves me from taking damage. I need to remember where precisely the thing that I find in here is. I think it's over here. If only there were a faster way to get through all this rubble. No, I don't think it's over here now. It's actually over on this side. There it is. It's a key. It opens doors. Great. Okay. I'm actually going to go back around and meet you at that first door we encountered with the health node behind it. Alright, so you'll see here in this room, where we were before, once you have that Sudran Key, the little gold door things slide up and let you through. And it's actually a power node, I was mistaken, whatever. Anyway, I kind of wonder if there's another reason why they include that dissenter note about the land of civilized kings. We'll get to that a bit later. I think it would be a spoiler to speculate too much right now. I'll meet you back at the branching path closer to the beginning of this area. Okay, I am right over here again, right by where we first learned about the key being a requirement. So now this door is open as well, we can come through here. And that is the only use of the Sudran Key in the game. Now here, it's not too hard to get these things hung up. In fact, you can just run through here and not even worry about blowing them up. It's probably a little easier. They can't move quite fast enough to get you. Or I could be wrong. Now I can stand here and take them out with the shoulder, okay, I think. Yeah. There's another save point over here. Make sure to map it. You may notice, by the way, that the music actually does change a little bit once you get past that door and into this area of E-Kur-Mah. I don't know why, because this music is not so great that it really needs two versions. But there it is. It is two separate tracks on the soundtrack. There's another note up there, but we can't currently get that anyway. We'll have to come back for it. Nothing in any of these walls here, so we'll just move on. Ignore the Sentry. And I guess ignore these two. Okay, another save point here. If you go up from here, that will take you around to a back door into Kur. If you go that way now without getting another item that you find in E-Kur-Mah, it is a one-way passage for now, so I'm not going to go that way just yet. Instead, I'm going to make progress down here. This is a large room. It has a couple of sentries, first of all, which be careful with. And this is a pretty dangerous area, so try to be as conservative with your health as you can. Which I'm not demonstrating very well right now. Note that little green bush there. It kind of blends into the background, but when you get close enough, it starts jumping at you. Now, when you hack it, it moves slower, and it also gives you a message. If you look carefully while it's trying to kill you, you missed the last character, but what it spells out is iskart-ehanzu. That is a passcode for the passcode tool. I will spell that out on screen once we find the place to use it, which is not here yet. Ah! Also, we have those carnivorous shrubs that we encountered earlier in Z a little bit. Be careful of those. I've already hacked them, so I'm not worried about that. I think those are called hopping shrubs by the wiki. All of that. It's fine. Lovely. I'll fall right on top of it, of course. And that one. And, of course, I get a bomb drop instead of a health drop. Absolutely. So, that thing I said about being conservative with your health, Yeah. Okay, I think we're through all of those now. Now, over here is where you use that code I mentioned. Iskart-ehanzu. And that opens a passage up above there. I don't know of any meaning in the Sumerian language or anything for that code. I think I've seen it speculated it might be an anagram for something, but I don't think anyone knows what. Maybe thanks somebody? Not sure. But we get the Quantum Variegator. All it does is shoot projectiles that fly off in randomized paths like that. It's not amazing. But down here, we find ancient tunnel hoppers. They are exactly like the other tunnel hoppers we encountered before in C, except they're gold and they have a little more health. They are happily pretty easy to deal with. And I am not sure what the point of the teddy bear faces that are all through in here. You can't interact with them in any way, and there are just a few different shapes of them. If they mean anything, I don't know. But some of them are mutated and melted. And nothing we can do over here, so I'm just going to go on down. More tunnel hoppers here, that's fine. Oh, also important, do remember to hack the ancient tunnel hoppers. When you do so, they behave like laser squids, which are more dangerous. So I wouldn't really recommend hacking them, except for one you need for the achievement. That's all that's in here. And I think at this point we're safe. There's nothing that'll kill us in here, as far as I remember. There's a power node fragment down there that we cannot get to this time. We just have to drill very slowly through all this rubble. But for going through all of that, we come over here and get a new t-shirt. This is the red coat. Not only does it allow us to teleport a little bit further, but it also damages anything in the space in between where you start and end your teleport. It also looks pretty seriously styling with the leotard code active. Without the leotard code, that's what it looks like, for what it's worth. With the leotard, that is definitely cosplay material. That is seriously stylish. But what we can do with that is teleport through rubble like that and destroy it in the process, which allows us to come over here and get that power node fragment. Hooray! And that makes it much faster to get through big swaths of rubble, which is good because there are very few of those remaining. Also, we need it to get up to that door, somehow. Because of the two-screen rule, all of these tunnel hoppers are gone now. These, however, are not. Neither are all those other scary things up in this room. so that will be exciting in a moment. For now, however, having the red coat, we can come up here, break through a couple of tiles there. Let's see, how do we go about doing this? One moment. There it goes. And then the drone can come up here and get something or other over here. Another health node fragment. Okay. And you can see our shrub friend jumping around happily up there. I will struggle through all of those things and meet you on the other end of this room. Okay. You will recall that up here in this vertical shaft, there was an item we couldn't get before. There it is. All we have to do is red coat through that wall. And there it is. Another note written in Sudran. And this is another part of that exchange regarding giving the Rusalki access to ancient technology. And as I alluded to before, the Sudran is regarded, basically the end of their civilization was nigh anyway because of a Thetos plague. So, they don't like it, but they have really no other choice, so... That technology that they were so scared of, they gave control of it back to the Rusalki. I wonder how that worked out for them. Alright. If we check the map now, we should have all the items in E-Kur-Mah. And once we go up there and map this last one little room, that is map completion for E-Kur-Mah. And there is no reason to return there, ever. Instead, we get this again. We are now on the far right side of Kur. And there was this room we couldn't previously come through before. If you didn't have the red coat, there would be no way to teleport through that because it's blocked by all the drillable things. But now we can. Now, remaining here in Kur, the boss room you see there where we fought Girtan is not fully mapped, so I'm going to wander down there and do that real quick. Here. After that part. Then drone up and map that corner. Done. My first time playing the game, I spent far too long trying to grapple across those features on the top of the room, trying to get to the top left corner. There's nothing there. Hatrahaska is still dead. That drone is still killing that ghoul over and over. That's fine. And now I want to go back over to the left. Because there is one last item we can get in Kur. Note that we've mapped it fully now, but have not gotten the last item. Note, by the way, that the lab coat does hack-type damage, the same type that hacked enemies like the worms and diatoms do. So if you haven't gotten some of those items that require hacking diatoms and waiting for them to break blocks, you could do that now using the red coat a little more easily. For the time being, however, there's one more item right over here we can get now. Right here. It is another weapon, the Ion Beam. It does that. I am not entirely sure why you'd want to do that. Seems like it's faster just to Kilver or lightning gun things at this point. Whatever. Oh, nice. You can destroy the boulders with the red coat. But anyway, that's all I'm going to do for now. And, like I said, that is item completion, map completion for Kur. So there's really nothing else we can do over here. We are just going to move on to the last area of the game, basically. That long shaft in E-Kur-Mah, where we were told Athetos is waiting. We can now get all the way up there, now that we have the red coat. So that is what I will be doing next time. Thank you for watching.